How's it, DJ? Unmute.
Did you say DJ?
I did.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good.
Everything good over there? Quarantine excellent?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, we're gonna give it like 2 minutes and then we'll get started. It might just be a small class. So what's happening? Unmute.
I got my presentation done, and so now I'm kind of studying on how I'm going to present it and all that good jazz. So I'm going to take a lot away from this.
Were you on the last one that I did?
I was. There was a lot of takeaways on that one for sure, but
So it's gonna be about the same.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm forgetful. I have memory like a goldfish, so.
Memory like a goldfish. What's going on? You got any listings?
So I had a buyer. My mind state was great, building up. The day before closing, he lost his job.
Wow.
And yeah, so I kind of lost it for like last week, and then this week I'm kind of back into it.
You lost it, like you were bummed out.
I was bummed out. Yeah, my mindset was
Feeling sorry for yourself.
Yeah.
Laying in bed.
World was on fire for me.
I've done way than my fair share of that.
Yeah.
I took 2 listings in the last few days. One today, one on Saturday.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
And I'm going to take one now. I'm going to take Allie's listing right now.
I love it. Oh, that's awesome. How did you get the listing? Did you were they leads or were they referrals?
What was the first one? What was she? I gotta check. So the first one was my daughter's friend's parents. My daughter told me about it like a year ago. She was with another agent and I had never heard from her in like a year. She had another agent, didn't sell, pissed off, hates the agent, blah, blah, blah. He had texted me like a year ago and she was going to call me back and she never did. And that was a year ago. She texted me out of the blue last week and bam, bam, bam.
Wow. Gotta love that.
One is
Not for like 30 minutes.
Swift Hippo. The other one is like a lead, like a paid lead.
Nice. And are you using like RedX? I think we talked about this.
No. I do have Mojo, yeah, but most of my stuff is Swift Hippo is like home valuation leads. This I probably have. Let me tell you what I have. I believe 79 that are still a possibility. So I'm almost 100 leads.
Wow.
One of them, that's the first listing from that.
And Pat, let me ask you, when you're talking to these people, did you do a presentation like on Zoom like we're doing now?
No, in person.
Gotcha.
No, I'm only doing Zoom now. If I can, like out of state, I'm going to try to be in person. Mm-hmm. I did do masks today. On Saturday, the husband wore a mask because he said he's out and he felt like he needed to wear a mask. I did not. I'm not big. My wife is selling masks, but I'm not a big masker. So I guess just you two guys. So we're going to go kind of fast.
Can I watch my thing and learn something?
What's that? Somebody else there? Who was that? No? Okay, so Allie, you are going to be the person. So remember, first thing that we do.
Okay.
You can mute yourself for now. First thing, I'm going to just jump right in. So the first part is going to be the pre-qualification. So, and I'll bring that up for you guys. And if you want to copy, remind me before we're done. We have 1 hour. So you can see my screen, right? Can you see my screen? Okay, so go ahead and unmute Allie.
Okay.
So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pre-qual. So I'm gonna call you up. Ring.
Hi.
Hey, Allie, Pat Adams, Keller Williams Realty. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good. Hey, I'm really looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. We're set for 11, right?
Yeah, I think it was 11. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, Allie, before I come out, I wanted to ask you a few questions. Do you have a few minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So Allie, first thing before I come out, I wanted to ask you, if when we meet on Saturday, if you feel comfortable and confident that I can sell your home, and I mean if you're really comfortable, are you planning on listing with me at that point?
Yeah, I think so. That's
Okay.
the motive.
Okay, so if you guys didn't catch, one of the things they teach us is to use a bottom swing, a pause, and a downswing. So when I said sell your home, are you planning on, when you, if you feel comfortable, I can sell your home. It's an embedded command, they call it. Are you planning on hiring me? That's not on there, but I use that. I use it, I do it all the time. So are you planning on hiring me? You got it?
Yes.
It's a pause and it's a downswing in your tone. Okay, Allie, cool. Now, are you planning on interviewing more than one agent to sell your house?
I hope to get a couple options, but if it's a good, if I'm convinced at the end of our meeting, then maybe it won't be necessary.
Okay, absolutely. Great idea. Now tell me, Allie, where are you guys moving again?
Hopefully in the next couple of months or so.
And where were you moving?
To a different side of town.
Oh, different part of town. And what's taking you there?
Family.
Family. And what do you mean by that?
Well, we're hoping to get a bigger house, be closer to the family on that side of town. So it's just a better area for us.
So you need a bigger house. How many in your family now?
We have, so that's a hard question. There's 4 of us.
4 of you. Okay, it's a hard question.
Yeah, it's a hard
So you're
question.
not
4
sure?
of us now.
That's interesting.
Yeah. There's 2 families coming together. So now here there's 4, there's 5 there. So
How many altogether?
5, 8.
Oh, so you can't stay in this house.
No. I need a bigger house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you need to sell this house?
Yeah.
Or you do?
Yeah, I need to sell it.
Do you need to sell to buy, or are you gonna buy that house and then you can sell this after?
No, I could sell this house and get the other house after.
But do you need to sell first? That's what I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, I need to sell first. Yeah.
You do? Okay. So we can talk about the timing of that when we meet on Saturday, okay? Because that'll be important. Okay? So
Okay.
this part is diving into motivation and getting real clear. So she would be a highly motivated seller, right? Does that make sense? Like I'm diving into motivation. It's not just where you're moving to, why are you moving? It's really diving into what's happening, what's it all about. When they're gonna go from 4 people in a small house to 8 people, obviously she's selling, okay? Now, Allie, how soon did you want to actually get that property sold?
If I could, as soon as a month, that would be ideal.
Oh, so you want to move pretty quick. You want to get done pretty quick, huh?
Yeah, get it over with.
Okay, cool. And Allie, do you have kind of a price in mind?
Yeah, I was kind of doing some comps myself, and I was thinking 200 would be a good price.
200?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've looking at some of the comps and whatnot?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Now, Allie is a professional real estate agent. One of the things I do is I really study the market and home prices every day. I'm totally in it. I assume that you will list with me at a price that will cause your home to sell, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. And did you kind of have like a bottom price that you'd be okay with?
That's kind of one of the questions that I wanted to go over, just depending on how much actually has to come out of my pocket at the end of the transaction. But
Okay, so you want to know like your bottom line net.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But like everybody's got kind of a bottom number in mind, right?
Yeah.
What's that number for you?
195.
195. So what would happen if we can't get you 195? Would you just not sell, or what would you do?
I probably wouldn't. I'll just wait.
You would just wait.
I would just wait. I would just rent it for the meanwhile.
You would rent it. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Have you rented property before? Like, do you own other investment properties?
No, not really.
So I'm creating doubt, right? You haven't. Oh, so you've never dealt with tenants before, huh?
No.
Okay. Well, I can help you with that if you do decide to go that route.
Okay.
Okay. But 195, that's your bottom line, right?
Yeah, I think that would be my bottom line.
Wow. So what if somebody came in and offered you like 185 cash? You wouldn't even look at that?
Again, I would have to see what, I'm gonna net at the end, because if I have to pay, 10,000 in fees, then I'm really not walking away with much. So again, I would
so
rather
the net is the real issue. What's your bottom line on the net? Because you've got to pay the agents and stuff, right?
Yeah, well, I was thinking just from, again, just a random number. Well, not random, but, just kind of like a guesstimated calculation. Maybe about 50,000.
50, what do you owe?
What's that?
What do you owe?
133.
133, okay. So in an ideal world, you'd like to get 50 net, right?
Yeah, at least 50. A clean 50.
And I probably won't go that detail into it normally on a pre-qual, but I figured, we're here. You can see what that's like, right? I do want to know those details. I might go more into that when we meet.
Okay.
Because I'm worried about 195, right? So I'm trying to start getting her thinking about lowering it. Now, God, how much did you owe? Have you ever thought about, Allie, have you ever thought about selling it yourself?
Yes, I have.
You have, okay.
Yeah, I have.
All right. Is that a plan you have, or are you just thinking about it, or where are you at on that process?
No, I thought about it and I offered it to a friend, and, just kind of threw that idea out there. She came and saw the house. She seemed interested at the time.
Okay. So I've seen the pictures. It's pretty nice. Have you done any work to it since you bought it?
No, I have not. Pretty much just try to maintain
You've owned it for about a couple of years, right?
2-3 years. Mm-hmm. 2 years and some change.
Okay. Okay, cool, Allie. I'm going to send over some. Oh, by the way, Allie, have you talked to any of those iBuyers like Zillow offers or Open Door, any of those people?
No, just people that call trying to make offers on the house. That's pretty much it.
Oh, okay. And one more question before I hang up, Allie. When you decide on an agent, what are the 3 most important things that will help you decide on, how will you know you found the right agent?
I would definitely have to go with reputation. So I would honestly say that I would look up, details on the agent to see how credible they are, how reputable they are. That's probably one thing.
Reputation, okay.
Reputation, yeah. And then I definitely want the process to be effortless for me as a seller, since I wouldn't be knowledgeable.
Okay, we're moving on. Okay, Allie, cool. Any other question before I go? No, thanks. I'll see you on Saturday. Saturday, here we come. Allie, it's good to see you again. Thanks so much for having me over today. Yeah. Allie, before I get started, and I'm moving fast, do you have any questions for me?
The same thing that we talked about over the phone. I just wanted to see what the numbers look like, just to kind of decide on that. That's the biggest. And then,
okay, cool. Cool. So yeah, obviously the numbers are important for you, right? Like the bottom line, right?
Yeah.
We're going to that in a little bit. Any other questions before we start?
No, that's pretty much it. It's just the money. So.
Okay, and I forgot to walk through the house with you, but if you listen to Mike Ferry and stuff, they're gonna say somebody will say don't walk through with them. I disagree. I walk through with them. I want to talk about their motivation. I want to create rapport, things like that, right? So we're gonna sit down, Allie. Kind of before I jump in, you're moving just across town, right?
Yes.
And you guys are gonna have 8 people, right?
Yes.
And I don't think they're gonna fit in this house, so you've got to
Not in
sell
this
this, right?
Yeah.
Now, you did talk about renting if you don't get kind of your bottom number, which you're hoping for 50,000, right?
Yeah.
And you're okay with the renting situation? Like you don't
Yeah,
need
I
the
would
cash?
be.
Because renters kind of sometimes trash a property. You probably heard that, right?
Yeah. You're right.
That
I
doesn't
was
worry you?
hoping the lease would kind of protect me from that.
But that doesn't worry you. You might put it somebody and they might sort of destroy it.
Again, I don't know much about renting, but I would think a lease would protect me from it.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Any other questions before I get started?
No, not right now.
Okay. First thing I wanted to talk about, Allie, is just give you a quick overview of sort of what I'm all about. Okay.
Okay.
I've been doing it about 8 years. I tell people I was visiting, I've been here 5 years in Las Vegas. And I tell people I was visiting North Carolina for 5 years before I moved here. But I was an agent there for 3 years. So it's 8 years total. Okay.
Okay.
Since I've been in Las Vegas, I haven't taken a listing, I haven't sold. Now, that sounds like a tall order, and you're probably going to have a hard time finding other agents that have that track record. Now, in all fairness, there are 2 exceptions to that. I had one listing where I had it under contract. The list price was $365. We had it at $362 in contract, and my client, the seller, decided not to sell. Okay. The other one was just a client that she had just bought the property. There were some kids upstairs, and she just decided not to sell. Every other listing I've taken has sold.
Okay.
Okay. That's the kind of track record you're looking for, isn't it?
Yes.
I see the, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It is, isn't it?
Yes.
You really want a client that's got a good track record, don't you?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because then you'll feel confident, won't you?
Yeah, I would.
You know, but you're getting these tie down questions, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So Allie, here's a quick overview of sort of my track record. And you guys don't have this, so you might want to, you can use office stats, or you can just skip over this, okay? Just skip it. Skip it if you're not comfortable. Some people use office stats. Like here's some of the stuff that our office sold, but I literally started doing this when I had 3 solds. Okay. What I did is I printed out the MLS sheet. I said, here's a few that I've sold recently. I sold this one for that, sold this amount, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally started talking about my listings once I had 3. Okay. Before that, I don't know what I did, but when I was new, it's a little bit challenging. So you might want to just skip this conversation. But I'm going to show like this one here. Look, we got in contract at 465 and 59 days. This one was 17 days on market, 2,000 below list. This one, this one was a challenge. This was a high rise. So you can mute yourself there, Allie. So this one here was a challenge. It was a high rise, and these were selling anywhere from 2.7 to, I think the high was 440. My listing was a nice one, but it was all white. White floors, white walls, white kitchen, white bathrooms, everything was white. It was nicely updated, but I knew that white was a bit of a challenge. So in this case, I actually told my seller to take your time, and we took 102 days, but I did tell him to hold the price because Allie, I want you to get top dollar, and that's important to me. And I'm going to do my best to get you top dollar, okay? And sometimes we might need to talk about lowering the price. Other times, I might tell you to be patient if I still think the market is going to get you what you need, okay? Yeah. So here's another example. This one, I told these sellers that they should go 185. They could go 185. And I said 180 is really aggressive. And they actually wanted to go 177. So they want to be super aggressive. That's not normal. Normally, I'm trying to get people to be more realistic on price. But in this case, we actually sold it. And I'm going to tell you about the open house. So this one actually sold because of the open house, but before the open house. But I'm going to talk more about the open house because that's really one of my key things that I do that really works well. And you do want some great strategies, don't you, Ali? Say yes. Great. So this one, Goldman, was, that one just took longer. It was an investor. She was very patient and very demanding. I got her just $1,000 below list, okay? Duran was interesting because this was super interesting. What I saw was this was a newer neighborhood. It was only 3 years old. And homes were selling from 450 to 500. And I had actually brought a couple buyers through, and we were looking at stuff that was 450. My buyer actually offered on a similar house. It was actually the seller of this one on Sweet Dreams. He offered a buyer in this neighborhood of Duran Park 440, and we almost got it. It was a long story, but the bottom line is that the listings have gone from 450 to 500. They're all 3 years old. They're all super, super nice one-story homes, all like 2,500 square foot. So my people they were in a divorce situation, and I managed to get, really a lot of them were selling 450, 460. I got them 470 for 4 days on market. Those are the kind of results you're looking for, Ali, aren't they? Yeah, yeah. Here's another one that was really interesting. This is Northwest Las Vegas. This seller actually had it with another agent. This was actually last fall. They had another agent a couple months before, and we listed it for 400. And what was interesting is there was a ton of inventory for whatever reason for this house. And it was tough. I mean, there was like 10 active listings for every one that was in contract. It was rough. But we managed to get it done in 45 days and only 5,000 below list. Those are the types of results you're looking for, aren't they, Ali? You know, I could talk forever about all these houses I'm selling, but look at this one, 10,000 below, 11 days on market. List price 6 days on market. That's because of the open house. El Paseo sold it at list, 52 days on market. Dauntless sold it at list price, 6 days on market. That was from the open house. Silverbrook is a cool one. That was before the open house. And I'm going to talk about this one when I explain to you how we do the open houses, okay? But that one we listed for 340, 2 days on market, sold for 347. Isn't that cool? That's cool, isn't it?
That's what I want.
Awesome, awesome. Let me tell you a little bit of how we do the marketing, Ali, okay? First thing I want to tell you about is our photography. I hire a fantastic photographer. He's very, very good at what he does. And he's going to show off your place and make it look amazing, okay? And let me show you a few sample pictures, okay? And I'll have these a little more queued up. So how's this look, Ali? Look, this
Very
place
nice.
is nice. To be fair, this place is nice,
Mm-hmm.
but the pictures really enhance it, okay?
Okay.
There's the kitchen. Isn't that neat?
Yeah, that's very nice.
And based on the pictures I saw in the MLS, yours is going to be similar, right? Yours is pretty nice. Not quite as good, maybe, but pretty close, right?
Yeah.
There's an exterior shot. Notice he's got kind of he's got a wide angle lens, really good photography, right? There's the interior of that one. Really nice shots, right? There's the bedroom, backyard. And we do a drone photography. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's photography. Do you see how that helps sell the house?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's very important. About half, Ali, did you know about half of the agents that people hire actually take pictures with their cell phones?
Wow.
It's literally half. And you know what happens when the pictures are crappy?
The house doesn't sell.
Well, sometimes it'll still sell, but it definitely cuts back on the number of showings.
Okay.
And what we know is the more showings you get, the more likely you're going to get a offer sooner and for more money, right?
Okay.
So that's one of the reasons why we think that's important. Ali, I'm going to do a 360-degree virtual tour of your home.
Okay.
And let me kind of just show you what that looks like and why it's important. So it shows up on the screen on the computer, right? And everybody's got this virtual tour, right? But the system we use, it shows up full screen. Do you see my computer screen there?
Yes.
It's full screen, and that really allows you to show off. So like when I showed you these photos here, it's full screen as opposed to in a little window, right?
Right.
So when it's in a little window, they can't see all the details, right?
Right.
That's why we really want to show off full screen so they can really see the pictures, right? Cool?
Yeah.
All right, next thing is, Allie, I do a lot of research. So frankly, a lot of agents are lazy. One of the things I do is I do a great deal of research to make sure we've got all the data on your home. But we also want to look at like the area, like what's important about the area of your home, proximity to the freeways, shopping, golf courses, whatever's important for the area of your home. We want to sell those features and benefits, not just about your home, but about the area, the neighborhood, things like that, okay? Is there anything that stands out about your home that you can share with me right now?
I would say it has the lot size is pretty large.
Okay,
From the exterior, I would say that.
exterior, okay, anything else? How
Um,
about the area itself?
it's pretty quiet, to be honest with you. The 2 years I've lived here, there's hardly any traffic. I could honestly say that the neighbors that I have surrounding my house, they've owned their houses for over 30 years from the conversations I've had with them.
Great. So great neighborhood and long-standing neighbors, huh? That's a really good
And the school, the elementary school, is literally one street over.
school, one street over. Those are great features. You see, those are things we don't see on the MLS.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we're gonna take every opportunity to talk about that.
Okay.
School one block away. I love that. Anything else?
Let's see. Well, the freeway is also maybe about half a mile here, right around the corner.
Freeway half a mile. Wow.
Yeah, and there is a little shopping center here at the corner as well, with a few restaurants and
Okay,
stores.
so good shopping, restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very cool. So here's one of the things. So on the MLS, we only have a limited amount of, it's like 250 characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I'm going to do is we have the pictures. I'm going to use the pictures you're going to see below. Not only am I going to talk about the house, but I'm going to put comments about the neighborhood. I'm going to talk about the quiet neighborhood, about neighbors that have been there for 30 years. I'm going to talk about the quiet neighborhood and the freeway being a half mile away. You see how that's going to help sell your house?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing you'll find that I do different from other agents, Allie, is I'm going to take every opportunity to add value and to kind of just take it up a notch, okay?
Okay.
And that's what you want your agent to do, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. So what you'll see is I just do things a little bit better every step of the way. Okay?
Okay.
All right, cool. So another thing I'm going to do is, so usually there's another agent that's going to bring a buyer. It happens the vast majority of the time. Then another agent actually brings a buyer. I'm going to handle the marketing side and I'm going to represent you, right?
Okay.
So what we're going to do whenever there's a showing, I'm going to send out a survey. In fact, I'm going to send it out up to 5 times before I get a response from the other agent, okay? They never respond. But I'm going to send it out anyway. I don't say that. They say I'm going to send out a survey. And you know why that's important, Allie? Because you want feedback on what people are saying about your house, right? Yeah.
Right.
So that allows me to give you the feedback. But you know why it's important also is, I love this story, is sometimes it helps me to engage with the buyer, right? And I always tell this story. It's the same story every time. And it's like 3.5, 4 years ago, okay? So here's what happened recently, Allie.
Okay.
I had a seller and I called up, the agent didn't respond. She didn't respond to the survey we sent out. So I called her up, right? And I said, so what'd your buyer think of the house? Of course, she said they liked it, but it had brown crown molding above, right?
Okay.
The buyer didn't like the brown crown molding. And I said, well, what if we painted it, right? Duh. And sure enough, she said, and this is a true story, I'm not kidding. She said, let me check with the buyer. And I kid you not. She called the buyer, said, if you paint it, we'd be interested. And they wrote an offer and we put it in contract. And you want to hear something funny, Allie? When we negotiated the repairs, we actually ended up not painting the crown molding.
Oh my
Isn't
God.
that funny? Ha ha ha.
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? But
Very.
that's why feedback is important. It helps me to engage with potential buyers, right? And I
Right.
think what you'll find is a lot of agents won't do that. Okay. I'm always going over and above to get you an offer. And don't worry if it's a lowball offer, because we might or might not accept it, but I'm always going to try and negotiate it and bring them up to a price that's acceptable to you. Okay. Cool. Now, Allie, Keller Williams is a technology company. We are putting stuff all over the internet. Okay. And we're going to put your house on over 500 websites. And of course, it's going to go on Trulia and Zillow and places like that. And frankly, I have no idea what these are all about. But we're going to put it all over the place. And you never know where we're going to get a buyer from. But you do want that exposure, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm always doing a tie down, right? And I'm exaggerating it with you guys. But I'm always trying to do tie downs and asking those closing questions. We want the buyer, we want the client to always be saying yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Okay.
So do you see how that exposure is going to help you get your property exposed, Allie?
Yeah, I can see it.
Cool. Another thing I'm going to do, Allie, is we're going to do a feature booklet and brochures in your house. And you might think, well, geez, that's kind of obvious. Well, the reality is, Allie, about 85% of the time, the other agents are not going to do that. And here's why it's important. The buyers are going to go out looking 5, 6, 7, 8 properties any given day, right? And they start to forget. Well, they're going to walk away with the brochure in your house, and it's just one more thing that's going to help them remember your house. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. Now, Allie, another thing I wanted to show you is, you know those brochure boxes they put on the signs?
Yes.
You notice they're half the time they're empty?
Yes.
Yeah. So we do it a little bit different. I don't want you to have an empty brochure box out there. In addition to being empty, one thing we found is we never know who took them. Ha ha ha. Right? They just take them and they're empty. What we do, Allie, is I put out this sign writer. It looks just like this. And they're going to text this code for your house to this number. And it actually will send them back a link to a website specifically for your property. And they can start looking at pictures when they're in front of it. And the best part, Allie, is I'm going to get their phone number on my cell, and I can engage them hopefully when they're in front of the property. Do you see how that works?
Yeah.
So maybe we can engage them and actually engage them as buyers. Isn't that exciting?
Yes.
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's another thing we do. Now, Allie, let me show you some of the other things that we do. So I mentioned a mobile website, right? So we also do a, and this is a thing called Listings to Leads, gang. It's like $30 a month. So we do, on the MLS, we're going to post the, it's called an unbranded version of the website. And that's important. We're not allowed to brand whenever we put something on the MLS. If they click on it, it's going to bring them to our website. So those are some samples of that. And here's the branded website version of your website. So it's got all the photos, it's got the description, the price, things like that, okay? Now, Allie, have you ever been to those websites? We're going to drive all the traffic to this website. We're going to do Facebook ads. We're going to drive people to the website. So when they click on learn more down there, it's going to take them to your website.
Okay.
That's sort of the desktop version of it, okay?
Okay.
In this case, we're promoting the open house. You see that?
Yes.
And there's another one. And there's one more. Now, we also do a mobile version of the ad, okay? So this is what you might see on your phone. Same ad, but it's a mobile, okay?
Okay.
And there's another one. And there's one more. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Now, all the time we're going to drive them to the website for your property, right? And have you ever been on a website and after about 30 seconds it pops up and forces you to register to see the rest?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's annoying, isn't it?
it is.
Yeah, and that's what we do. Ha ha ha. And here's why we do that, Allie. What we know is that if the buyers aren't serious, they're probably going to just go away. And that's okay because we're not interested in providing entertainment. If they're serious buyers, they're going to register and I'm going to get their name and phone number and I can reach out to and engage them and hopefully turn them into buyers for your house. Isn't that cool?
Oh, yeah.
So it might sound annoying, but that's what we really want are serious buyers, right?
True.
Yeah. Cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So we do a lot, Allie, as you've seen. And I think probably the biggest thing we do that's probably most really provides a huge amount of value is what I call the mega open house. And let me explain how that works, Allie. So I'm going to take your listing and we're going to put it on the market. And notice that I'm already assuming that I'm going to take the listing. So I'm going to take your listing and we're going to start putting it on the market, doing the advertising Tuesday. So it's going to go on the MLS. It's going to go on Zillow, Trulia, all those websites. We're going to start with the Facebook ads. I'm going to be calling around your area. And if I can door knock, I'm going to door knock. And everything's designed to draw people to the open house on Saturday. Okay? So we want to drive maximum traffic to the open house on Saturday. This is a sample of the flyer. Okay?
Okay.
So here's what's going to happen is we're going to do the launch of all this marketing on Tuesday. We're going to start seeing pretty quick, hopefully if they like your house, people are going to want to start showing it right away. Okay? So when an agent calls me and says they want to show it, I'm going to tell them right now we're doing it Saturday between 2 and 5, but I'm going to tell them we're going to do brokers open between 2 and 3. Can you bring your client then? And you hopefully they're going to say, yeah, we'll bring them between 2 and 3. And I'll say, great, we'll see you on Saturday between 2 and 3. And if you can't be there, no problem. We'll honor your agency. Sorry, we'll honor your agency. Sorry, that's what I put in the MLS. I don't tell the seller that. But anyway, between 2 and 3, right? Now, Allie, I'm also going to invite all the neighbors. And you might wonder, why do I invite the neighbors? Well, there's 2 reasons, right? Sometimes they might know somebody that might want to move into the neighborhood because people want to know their neighbors, right? And the other is they might just be curious. And Allie, honestly, I don't care who shows up on Saturday, but I want as many people as possible. And here's why. We're going to get between 1, 2, maybe 3 serious buyers in the open house during that first hour, right? I want as many bodies in there during that same time. So when the buyers look around, well, they're going to see, I just want to see humans. Shoot, I'll even hire actors if I can. I just want humans in there. You see what I'm saying? Because when they see all those other people, it's going to do 2 things. One, it's going to create urgency, which is going to cause them to write the offer sooner rather than think about it, right? And 2, it's going to drive up the price. And that's what we really want, don't we? Yeah. The other thing that happens with these open houses, Allie, it's really funny. Remember the one I told you about where we had it at 370 and we, was it? Yeah, 340, 330, 340. We sold it for 347, right? So what happened on that is the day after we went live, it was on a Wednesday, I got a call from a guy and he had a buyer and I said, can you come on Saturday between 2 and 3? He said, sure. The next day I got a call and I got a guy from another agent and he said the same thing. And I said, can you come on Saturday between 2 and 3? He said, my client's from out of town from California and he won't be here Saturday. Any way I can get in there. So I called up the client, arranged a showing. They came in, they loved the house. He called me up. He said, we're going to write an offer. I said, well, if I'm going to keep it off the market and not do the open house, I'm going to need to be a strong offer. Okay. And he said, absolutely. They're willing to go above list. I said, okay, cool. That's exciting. So guess what I did? I called the other agent and I said, look, we've got an offer coming in. If your client's interested, can you get them in there today? So I actually met that client there at 4 o'clock. I met the agent with their buyers there at 4 o'clock. Long story short, the first buyer came in at 342. The second one came in at 347. And they actually didn't need to move for 3 months. I was able to negotiate the 347 price, and they were able to rent back for 2 months after closing. Isn't that amazing? Now, you don't need to rent back, do you, Allie?
No.
But you do like the idea of getting a better price, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So how's this all sound to you, Allie?
Sounds really good.
Yeah.
Sounds
Are you
convincing.
comfortable at this point hiring me to sell your house?
Yeah, I would say.
So it's a
I am.
pre-close, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, let's talk about price then, okay?
Okay.
So gang, I do a cloud CMA and I can show you one of those. But this is what I go over with the buyers at this point. I do want to see pictures. Hopefully they're going to see pictures and stuff. Okay, we're going to do yours, right, Allie? I already did yours.
Yeah, we did a couple of weeks ago, maybe.
All right. So let me do this one. I did so one I did on Saturday. So Allie, I've done some research on your house, and you know it kills me because you had this listed for 370 and you want to get 380, okay?
Okay.
So you had this for 370 and it's killing me why it didn't sell. And I actually had very similar property, and that's the one I sold for 395. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
That was only like a mile and a half from here. It
Okay.
was 2,600 square feet with a pool. Now the lot was bigger, and they had a whole nother backyard that you don't have, okay?
Okay.
Your house is okay. It's pretty decent, right? And your kitchen's a little bit, you know, not so great. It's not as nice. I shouldn't say not so great. Your kitchen's not as nice as some of the others. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So the language is important, right? I
Yeah.
insulted them at first,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I backpedaled, and would you agree your kitchen's not quite as good as some of the others, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Allie, your backyard, you know, with the pool and everything, like it's just a pool, it's nothing else. Are you comfortable planting a few plants back there to add some green?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, I think if we can get you top dollar, we need to do a few things to the house, okay?
Okay.
All right? So let's
Okay.
kind of go over the data a little bit, and we can talk a little bit more about the updates and things like that. Have you thought about painting the exterior, by the way?
No.
I'm just throwing it in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the front could use some paint. Okay, this
Okay.
is a real story. This is a real story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll pop. If we put fresh paint, it's gonna pop. I think
Okay.
then we can really get you top dollar.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool?
Okay.
All right, Allie, so you see these two right here? Look, this is sort of good news and bad news, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you, these are a little bit better, but the same floor plan, same neighborhood as yours. But look at the prices, Allie, 419 and 429. And you kidding, yours didn't sell for 370 last fall, right?
Right.
Yeah. I don't think these are gonna sell either at these prices, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
But here's what's cool is they're gonna attract some eyeballs, and it's gonna bring the buyers to your house.
Okay.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Allie, I'm confident I can get you top dollar for yours. Here's another one. Look, a little bit smaller, but it's in contract for 315. This was a short sale, so we're not going to worry about this one.
Okay.
Okay, we're just going to disregard it. Now let's look at the other ones. Now these are the ones that sold. Okay.
Okay.
So we've got 330, 388, 389, 389, and 415. That's kind of cool. All of them except for the one sold higher than yours. That's exciting, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And this one's only 2,000 square feet, and yours is 2,700. Allie, for the life of me, I can't figure out what happened with yours.
What was the question?
For the life of me, I can't figure out what happened with yours.
Right.
And they complained about the age and all this other stuff. The pictures were bad, blah, blah, blah. But Allie, so yours has a pool.
Okay.
This one here doesn't, and it sold in January for $389. I actually talked to the seller, and she didn't hire me, and that's okay. I can't win them all, right?
Right.
Their house, frankly, I think your house is almost as good. Different floor plan. This one's only a 3-bedroom. Oh, sorry, 4-bedroom, 2 bath. Yours is a 5-bedroom configuration. So she has had a loft up there. Maybe it's this one. No, this is the one. Anyway, 389. So this is kind of good news, right? As long as we do our job and maybe do a little bit of updates, hopefully we can get to that, something closer to that. Would that make you happy?
Yes, very.
Yes, it would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to show you a little bit more data. So part of what I'm doing here is I've already done my research. I know what price I'm looking for, right? Like, frankly, I think it's crazy that this house didn't sell for 370. In my mind, I'm going in there going, if this house is halfway decent and they do what I need them to do, I think I can get them 390, close to it. And they told me 390 going into it. Okay. So, Allie, here's what I did is what did I do on this one? I believe this is a 1 mile radius. So Allie, I did a 1 mile radius, right? And look, this is pretty good. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not a 1 mile radius. This is the area. This is sort of all the way down to Durango.
Okay.
Okay. And there's the good news. These are the only houses that are active, and we're in a pandemic. Okay. So if we were looking at 370, 380, 390, look where we're at on price. We're near the bottom. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And this guy doesn't have a pool. So if you want a pool, we probably one of the better priced houses. Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Now remember that one in your neighborhood, this is the short sale, right?
Okay.
These are the under contract. So in that area, there's only 2 in contract. And there's 5 active listings. Okay, so that's not amazing, but at least some are in contract, right? But again, the good news is we've got a short sale and we got 1 in contract, 449, and this one doesn't have a pool. Now this one's a very nice house. So frankly, both of these are irrelevant to our house, to our business. Okay. Now let's look at what's sold. And what I might do in this case, just go look, Allie. Here's the median price, 375. So that's a little bit of a negative. You can see that, right?
Yeah.
And we got one right here with a pool sold for 350. Now, Allie, this one's down the street a little bit, and it's not in a gated community. And well, Allie, your guys' neighborhood is really one of the better neighborhoods, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it is. So I'm a little more optimistic than that. And I've been doing this for a long time. Here's what I can tell you, right? Out of 13 that sold in the last 6 months, these top 3 or 4, those are the good ones. I could look through the pictures and I think you'll see that this one's really nice, this one's really nice, and this one's special. Okay. And yours is a decent house, but it's somewhere more in the middle, right? Well, the middle would take us to 375. Do you see that? And yeah, you have a pool, so I would give it a little bit more, and that sort of puts us in that 380, 390 range, okay? Now, Allie, it's just killing me that your house didn't sell for 370, so I'm trying to figure out why it didn't sell for 370 and figure out how much I can get for you the most for it, okay? So here's what I did, Allie. What did I do? Okay, these are the same area with pools. Okay, long story short, if they've got a pool, look at that. 390 is still a great price. So I'm going to sort of pop between what I would say versus showing you guys data, right? And then look here, 390. Here's sort of the bad news, Allie. Here's the solds. Look, 350, 375, 380. Wow. Remember how I told you those 2 wouldn't sell in your neighborhood? Does this kind of show you why? The highest price is 415 with a pool. That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
It looks like the other ones might have been overpriced.
That tends to be what it is. So let's look at some more information, Allie. So these are the ones without the pool. And I just want to show you the difference. See the median down here? And I don't always do this, gang. I usually just talk about the pool. Look, 465 and 377 and 365. So 10,000 for the pool, right? I sold the same floor plan about 2.5 years ago, and the difference is 20,000. Whatever. Pool gets about 10 grand. I did one more thing. I did the whole area 405, which goes all the way up. Normally I might not do this, but I want to see what's going on. Remember, in that once in the area, which is actually pretty far, there's only like, is that the pools? That's pools. So this area literally goes all the way down to Durango, pretty wide area. Look. There's 5 actives, which isn't a lot, and 2 on contract. So I'm really blowing out the area. And I'm going, what's kind of happening in the market in this Northwest area? Does that make sense? I've only got 2,500 to 2,900 square foot. I got pool and no pool, okay? So in that whole huge area, there's only 9 active listings. Look how many in contract. So I'll say, Allie, look, this is good news, isn't it? So we have 2 categories for under contract. I've got no show and I've got show. And altogether there's 9 in contract up against 9 active. Allie, a lot of times when I'm looking, we're in a pandemic, right?
His battery died.
Did you watch the little thing on the bottom? I thought it was like a 20% like an hour ago.
The what? I'm sorry. Oh no, I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, you're probably right about the battery because I saw it on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, right before he went out, it said battery low, and he just reached back real quick, and it was out. Yeah.
Well, it was a lot of good takeaways. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you
He
guys.
just texted.
Is he gonna get back on?
I don't know. He just texted and said battery. Be right back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We'll just wait for him.
Yeah, we'll give him a few. So you're a new agent?
So I've been licensed for almost 2 years.
2 years?
Almost 2 years. Not a lot of deals though. Compared to the last year, ever since actually I joined Keller, I've been more active than I ever have.
Yeah.
But
Who were you with before?
Win-Win off of Maryland Parkway.
Win-Win? Oh, okay.
Kind of a smaller one, but I got my license through Key Realty
Okay.
training, and she did a little presentation. You know, and it was a great brokerage, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk bad about them at all. They're great actually, but you know, I definitely wanted the resource that Keller Williams offered.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. You know, I'm doing a whole bunch of designs and whatnot, and doing marketing and using a CRM. These are things I never done before. So I'm more active, but you know, I got to get familiar with scripts and whatnot. I'm trying to script it up. You know.
Yeah.
Do
So what were you doing in between?
Uber.
Oh, Uber.
Yeah, so I'm doing Uber. Yeah, I'm doing Uber quite a bit actually recently because I lost that deal. So I'm like, scrambling because I was banking on that deal closing. And
Yeah.
So no stress, no worries. You know.
Yeah.
Getting back at it. So here I am. I've got my listing presentation done through the design. I never had that before, so I got that done. And so yeah, writing a lot of notes as well. So I got notes down.
Yeah.
Ready for it. How about you? How long have you been in the business?
I've only been licensed since February.
Nice. How's it going for you? Do you love it?
I do. I've always been interested in real estate. You know, it's been very challenging, I would say. You know, with all the training and having to learn the scripts and listing or buying. You know, so it's like which one do you really focus on, and then getting all your database and leads, and wow, it's just a lot. But I got my first buyer closing today officially. So.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? Just waiting, just keep checking my email.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you. Oh, let me make this real quick. We can't hear you, Pat. You're muted, I think.
Oh God. So I was talking and all that. Anyway,
Yeah, I saw your lips moving. I was like, wait.
but the point is that I'm looking at the median price, right? 377, right? You need to figure out where you're at on that. But part of what I'm looking at too is, in this case, look where 390 is. 380, 390. You see that? And these don't have pools. And I think they're vacant. They're tenant. One or two of these is tenants. So this is part of it, right? Like the market will reflect this if they go outside of this area. So I'm real comfortable at 380, 390, even though they had it 370, because there's no inventory. And in this area, houses are selling. You get it? In other areas, you're going to see like 10 actives and 2 in contract. And I don't know why that is, but you need to be ready for that. Does that make sense? You need to look at the market that you're in, and that means the area, the size of the home, the price, all those things. Okay, we got to wrap it up because there's another thing.